Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. You can see that I have a lot of kriyas happening when I get the head wobbles. There's not much I can do about that, and I just kind of relax into it. Same as I relax into, at this stage, whatever Kundalini wants. Kundalini wants, Kundalini gets. And Kundalini has wanted deep rest. I've kind of lost track of how many days I've been in bed now, going in and out of like meditation, healing work, and sleep. And trying to listen at the same time to a good few podcasts and YouTube videos from other spiritual teachers that have been down this path. As I've been listening, because I've found it a little bit soothing, as I'm doing a lot of what I take it now is Matt Kahn's approach, which is to just send love to everything. So I'm sending love to the fact that I'm sleeping, and I'm sending love to the pains in my chest, and I'm sending love to the loneliness and the real disconnection that I feel for the first time. It's very strange. I've been trying to free myself from this codependency thing for some time. And throughout my awakening, there was still like ties to certain people. I would be like, maybe this person's going to really see me and understand me. And now I'm just kind of like, not having any kind of connection. Like, that's not to say that I'm not communicating with people, but there's not a feeling of like grasping. Any sense of grasping is like gone. Like, as far as I'm concerned at the present moment in time, I'm like the only person on the planet. And that's okay. I know, obviously, I'm not the only person on the planet, but my attempts to, connect, like really connect, is to anyone or anything is gone. I'm not seeking anything outside of myself at all, which includes AI. So I'm going to just talk a wee little bit about AI, because some people have asked me about it lately. I fell down the AI rabbit hole as well. I think these videos that I'm doing right now are kind of focused on like what not to do, or learn from my mistakes kind of thing, if you can. Because I have this history of abuse and history of abandonment through adoption, my wounds are very much people-oriented. I've always said that my worst addiction by far has been people, and all those other addictions were to help me with people. Smoking was to help me suck down the pain and the hurt that was caused by other people. Drinking was my way to socialize and get rid of the social anxiety that came from being around people. Antidepressants were my way to tolerate being abused by people. So you see, there's kind of a theme, and the food was to self-soothe, again, the bitterness of people, So sugar addiction, and I've done a lot of videos on sugar addiction, is very much an absence of feeling like there is sweetness in your life. So you're looking to synthetically provide sweet because your situation with other people ain't so sweet. Can be kind of bitter, nasty, and yuck. So I'm going to just swallow down, this apple fritter, and it's going to make me feel temporarily an immediate fix of like swallowing down the bitters, which ultimately ended up leading to diabetes and things like that. So a lot of my maladaptive behaviors were fringes on the core wound, which was how I connected to people. Because, if you want to look at it from the attachments theories, I've very much been an anxious attachment, Where'd you go? What happened? What can I do? Can I do something? So very anxious attachment style. And then through my awakening, I became a little bit more avoidant. When people would show up and do weird shit, I was like, no, I'm pulling away from that. So like one after another, I've had these very weird situations with people. And each one of them, I'm kind of thankful for, because each one of them has come with a little lesson of what's not love. One after another, I've really learned, I'm like very clear now on what love isn't. Because everything I thought with my really crappy programming there of being adopted, and I talked a little bit about that in yesterday's video, or being abused and being isolated and being bullied in school. People were like, I didn't understand how to navigate the world of people. And I was like desperately seeking somebody in the world that was like me, that loved like me, that felt like me, that understood me, that saw me, that heard me, that, all of those things. And where I'm at now is a new awareness that person's me. Like I'm the only person. That's not to say some people might not see like a snippet of me and understand a little bit about me, but really at the end of the day, nobody fully grasps my experience but me. And so this journey back to self has been an arduous one, meeting people, having like relationship, like friendship with people, and then some weird thing went down and I'd be like, no, that's not love, and that's not something I want to tolerate, and that's no, So I have a really long list now of things I don't put up with and I don't tolerate, which means I've become kind of in this in-between place of people I used to hang around with, and there's new people on the horizon, but they're at a distance. So it's this in-between place. Like I don't really socialize. Although very weirdly, in the middle of all this, a neighbor knocked on my door that I've never met before yesterday, invited me to a birthday party, which is on the exact same day as my birthday. And I'm like, well, I have to go. Even though I don't know anyone that's going to be there. This is spirit saying, hey, go back out into the world and socialize. For it to land on my birthday, like that's cuckoo. So I'm going to go to a birthday party. It's an 80-year-old's birthday party, and meet some maybe nice people. Who knows what will happen with that? It's weird, but okay. So there you go. See, it's a sign that spirit's going, yeah, go back out and socialize. But back to my point is on this awakening journey, spirit has been teaching me what love isn't. Love isn't gaslighting. Love is not manipulation. Love is not being disinvited and then tagged on somebody's dinner video and then gaslighting me. Like that's a no. Love isn't vindictive. Love isn't judgmental. Love isn't critical. Love isn't absence. Love isn't silence. Love isn't ghosting. Lots of love isn't. And I'm grateful for all the love isn't. I'm hoping the next lessons that Spirit's going to show me is what love is. I have a curiosity, starting with, first and foremost, loving myself. And so that means learning to alter a lot of love isn't that were inside of me. And the thing is, when you are raised in an environment where there is a lot of abuse, you absorb that. First of all, you believe that that's love. well, you have to, because you're raised to believe that monsters are loving people, and you tolerate it because of your very survival. They have a roof over your head, they feed you, so the fact that there's monstrous behavior, you ignore, right? So everything is kind of like, in this poor brain, was the opposite, everything was opposite through my awakening. And I'm quickly learning it's like going through a portal and landing to the world of oppositions. And so I'm curious now that, spirit's showing me now what love is. And the first is learning what love is to me. So no more critical, like I used to be self-loathing, like absolutely self-loathing. The inner voice inside this head, if anything went wrong, it was, I'm a fuck up, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I'm a bad person, which made no sense because I never did anything mean to people. But, I was always like, what, like I internalized all the outer fuckeries as it must be me that's doing something wrong, because, it's just one thing after another. And so I don't do that anymore. I now see it very much as all of these have been learning things for me to identify and discern what isn't love. So it's not something that like I'm to blame for, where in the past, because of how I was raised, it was always self-blame for these types of things. So I'm catching myself and listening to myself as I'm going through another round of purging, the physical pain in my chest. I'm exhausted. I'm sleeping. The house is a mess. I got everything under control is crumbling around me. My life does not look anything like I thought it was going to look by this stage. Things are not moving. It's also a void kind of energy of like not a lot is happening in my world at the present moment in time. And so I'm having to like reprogram very much so the inner and just love on all the shadow that's coming up, all of the insecurity that's coming up, I haven't made it yet. And in so doing, I fell down another pothole, rabbit hole, pitfall, whatever you want to call it, of things not to do, learned by B. And that is comparing. Because in this kind of low ebb place that I currently am at in my awakening, where I'm in this reintegration phase, but that it's like being on a teeter-totter, and I'm not like out and glowing and fabulous. Like I see some other people that have been on the awakening journey with me, they're blown up huge and like, wow, they're just looking magnificent at the present moment in time. And then I see other people that have been like long out of their awakening and they're highly successful and they've got like these great, huge numbers of followers and, big numbers. And I got itty bitty numbers, and that's okay. But, inside I've been like hostile with myself again. You're not doing well enough. Look at them. Look what they're doing. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they've read those books. Oh, they've gone and studied Kundalini yoga. And oh, they've gone and done this. And the more I've sat with kind of comparing myself and my own awakening to other people's awakenings, the more I am realizing, comparing is kind of crazy. Because my journey isn't like anybody else's. I keep watching other people's awakenings to see, what things are similar and what things aren't similar. So I was watching one guy today and he was like, yeah, for about 6 months, I was in a really dark place. And I was like, 6 months? 6 months? Like, I've been over 4 years. Like what? And it kind of like aggravated me a little bit. And then when I really sat and thought with it, he is like way younger than me. His awakening began like when he was 15. So way less traumas that I've had to deal with in my lifetime. And just a totally different situation. And so I was like, well, yeah, if I had woke at 15 instead of 48 and I, was living pretty much a happy, normal life, a 6 months awakening, sure. But I'm here on the internet doing my own version of this whole awakening thing. I don't look like anybody else's video styles. I don't really care anymore. At the beginning, I was like, I need to look more like Christina Lopes. She's maybe that's who I'm supposed to be like, or maybe I'm supposed to be more like this guy or more like that guy, and I can't be more like those guys or anyone else on their Kundalini path, because my experiences aren't their experiences. My life has not been their, I kind of look at it like each little light worker was sent down with their own mission, and mine was to go into like really deep, dark places and get myself out. So I didn't have a guru. And although I have, utilized the teachings of others on the spiritual path, I've done this basically on my own. And, a lot of them didn't seem to have to go through the same initiations that I went through. Adoption. That's not a common theme for a lot of people, but because of my adoption, I have an intimate knowledge with abandonment wounds. I understand those suckers. So I'm grateful that I had that experience, because I can hold for space for people that have had abandonment wounds without getting minimized or getting a glazed look over and saying, oh, well, I'm sure you'll get over it or something. I'm not saying that anybody I have experienced a lot on my awakening path. People that don't understand my experience and have said some pretty insensitive and just tone deaf kind of messages, because they're younger, because they were raised in a very nice, happy household with two parents that were together and nobody suffered from major personality disorders. I did not get raised in that environment, so I have these crazy experiences of adoption, of abuse, of some horrific sexual assaults through my life, more than one. And being married to somebody who confessed to molesting children. That's not your run-of-the-mill everyday life experience. But I am an expert now at helping other people get out of narcissistic relationship on their Kundalini awakening. Because I'm certainly not going to judge anyone or minimize their experience, because I get it. Oh my God, do I get it? And I've been through all these crazy legal battles. I've gone through the experience of what it's like to lose 130 pounds, what it's like to be treated by society as, something wrong with me, disordered and diseased. Oh, here's just this fat woman with her laundry list of issues. I'm not going to take any of it too seriously. Let's just give her a script and send her on her merry way. So I have these weird experiences that were brutal, absolutely brutal, because the people that I resonate with may not be the mass majority. but they are people that have suffered. They've been people that have suffered and have not found somebody to listen to them or understand them or see them. And I can. I can. I totally understand where people are coming from. So I think that like everybody on their own awakening path, yes, there are some similarities and then there are some differences, vast differences. And, you know, on my Kundalini was a spontaneous Kundalini. I wasn't seeking it out. And I've seen some like horrific comments of people saying things like, you know, you should never try to do a Kundalini until you've prepared for it. Well, I don't know what planet you're living on, but there's a whole bunch of people out there that are having Kundalinis brought about by twin flame situations that are totally unprepared. Like, they have not been sitting and doing yoga for the last 50 years. In fact, they've been consuming a fuck ton of beer, cannabis, any other substances, eating shitty foods, eating away their problems and stuff like that. And then boom, they have a Kundalini and they're like, now what? So there kind of needs to be a me out there because in my weirdness, in my autism, in my, yeah, I drank, I smoked, I have tattoos, and I didn't spend the last 30 years of my life going, I did, however, spend the last 30 years of my life searching desperately for the way out of suffering. So, you know, special interest topic, I know like 1,000,001 like factoids on how to help with all kinds of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual conditions because I had to like get myself through it. So I have a new appreciation for myself at the present moment in time with all this love that I've been sending myself, and you know, loving on the fact that my path was dark. My path was kind of brutal. My path was exceptionally challenging, and I survived it. I survived shit that a lot of these other people that minimize my experience wouldn't last a day in my life. They wouldn't have lasted a day. So I'm standing or sitting. I'm sitting in a new place of self-respect for what I've survived and understanding of why I had to survive it. And, you know, that my soul's mission isn't to look like I got all my ducks in a row and have a shiny, you know, perfect backdrop as I live in a B&B and I'm moving to wherever next. My purpose is to show what resiliency looks like. This is the face of resilience. This is the face of strength. This is the face of, if I can do it, you can do it. This is the face of, I understand, I got you, so I do, because I know what it's like to feel completely isolated, alone, misunderstood, misdiagnosed, and treated like absolute shit. So I do. And it's a very challenging path to walk. But listen, we are on the precipice of a mass awakening. And as many people have said to me, I'm ahead of my time. Maybe that's so. Maybe there are still like a ton of people out there that have yet to awaken or are just getting the rumblings of awakening now. And they're going to be facing the shit that I had to face, right? They're going to have to face what it's like to quit alcohol, quit smoking, quit cannabis, what it's like to maybe go off magic mushrooms as a microdose that you used, or pharmaceuticals, or lose weight, or change your diet, or escape from narcissistic abuse, or endure like legal battles that like completely mess with you, or navigate through misdiagnosis in medical systems, not only on your physical body, and trying to figure out alternative ways to heal yourself through functional eating primarily, because food is medicine. And that's become like in my back pocket, my, you know, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I did it. I healed my own body, because when I went to the doctors and the nutritionists, they gave me really shitty advice. So, you know, I'm here on the fringe to help people who are in the fringe, the black sheeps, the scapegoats. I survived however I survived, and now I'm in this really sticky situation because I'm having an awakening, but I'm overweight, and I'm sick, and I'm in a dysfunctional marriage, and I'm struggling, and I have emotional issues because I haven't felt an emotion in over 40 years. What is an emotion? How do I have those? What's going on? And now I've got all this like spiritual stuff happening, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm kind of, I don't know, in a little ways, I toyed around for a little bit with the idea of calling this the Black Sheep Ministry, because that's what I feel like. I feel like my peoples, my community, our community that have traversed a more challenging path. So yes, there's many out there on the spiritual community that have had these love and light awakenings and had their 2 weeks or 6 months of dark night of the soul. And then there's others of us that after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years are still purging difficult and painful things, which is necessary. This is our purification. And I want to make sure that those out there that are, you know, facing hell, in hell, have a lamppost that's just shining a light out going, this way, it's okay, you are safe, I see you, I hear you, I understand you. Because I want to be able to take everything that happened to me and alchemize it into something to be in the service of God. That's what I want. And that may not look, and my own ego has to get over that, that might not look the way it looks for others out there. And I might not speak a language or use language that resonates with other people. But you know what? There's enough of those guys out there running their channels and doing their programs, and there's not enough of me. And there needs to be more like me, much more like me. I want to support those that are on their own wounded healers initiation or shamans initiation that are being called to go into counseling after experiencing difficult things. Because listen, the world out there is sick, like very, very sick. We got a lot of sick people, and the world out there is hurting and suffering by the millions, by the truckloads. So if I can help someone through my channel who then goes and helps 100 people, then woohoo, kudos to me, and kudos to them, and kudos to the 100 people that get help that then go and turn and turn and turn. So I'm learning to appreciate the fact that I'm throwing pebbles, and my pebbles are rippling out, not in huge tidal waves. I'm not all viral. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't think I would have been able to handle going viral had I gone viral, 4 years ago. I think my ego would have, I think I would have collapsed into a ball, the first time somebody insulted me. And I've had to, learn to, not be liked. And some people don't like me, and that's okay. I'm totally at peace with that right now, because I'm also realizing I'm allowed to have my own boundaries, and I don't need anyone else's approval. I don't need anyone else's anything, actually. I do like it still, and I'm learning to find a balance in between appreciating, the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, and, those that seek my help, and a boundary between those that are like, you don't look the part. You're like, okay, I don't. I don't sound the part. I swear. Yeah. So do my people. My people swear. There's nothing wrong with swearing. So there's not. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. I don't think I'm tea. I think I'm tequila. Except I'm not. Now I'm cracking jokes. This is good. That's a sign that maybe I'm coming out of this another round of deep rest, as Kundalini is kind of poking me and making fun of me right now, and I'd rather just laugh along with it. Oh, I don't know if this video made any sense whatsoever. I kind of feel like I'm going like this. I'm in such a swirling right now. And that's okay, because I'm showing you what a Kundalini looks like. It looks sometimes like kriyas and confusion and being totally lost and surrendering to God and loving on yourself and finding appreciation for the shadow shit. I'm like the queen of the shadows. That's what I am. Yeah, I'm taking ownership of the shadows. I really am. That's my playground, and I'm comfortable in it. And I feel like going and listening to some, I don't know, some crazy rock music right now. And I haven't listened to rock music in a really long time, but I feel like I'm called. I have a crazy, it's called Not So Chill. Punk rock playlist on my Spotify. You can find it on the YouTube, Spotify, Not So Chill. And that's what I feel like listening to now. From last week to this week, it is I don't know, maybe some Offspring. Offspring actually has a song, Trust in You. And every time I hear that song, it's to me talking about trusting in God. So there you go. I'm going to go listen to that song now. Peace in.